All right
And
now.
we are live. What's up, everybody? To you guys on YouTube, especially, I have missed you like crazy. I have been on a strike the past 7 days, unfortunately. No need to get into the weeds on the specifics of what happened, but missed you like hell. And I even had to jump back on today, first day possible. The strike ended last night, so here we are. Me, Humberto, gonna go strong for like maybe a 30 minutes. Who knows, maybe an hour if things go good. But what's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Just here, you're taking care of the home base.
Yeah, locking it
Happy to be
down.
back. Yeah, locking it down. Happy to be back on YouTube. Out of YouTube
I
yet.
know last week was like the longest week of the year. At least it felt like that way for me.
Oh, it felt so damn long.
It felt like a
Honestly.
month.
But
To everybody who just joined, I'm fresh off a strike from YouTube, out of YouTube jail. We're just too hot to handle, but back and better than ever. Not like the show. So the essence of what we're going to talk about tonight, something crazy that I caught wind of today. Did you hear about this, dude? So apparently the House stealthily passed a defense bill that automatically registered men 18 through 26 for the draft, which is insane. And I watched a little clip of this that where they're kind of talking about, and they're trying to highlight the fact that, like, oh yeah, it increases pay for privates by 20%. So I'm glad to see that the guys are going to be making more money. Like, yeah, how about the fact that they're going to potentially be drafted into a stupid war that was totally avoidable? I mean, oh my god, you have no idea how much the things like this piss me off, dude.
literally during World War II, they didn't increase the pay for privates, but they will make them climb up the ranks right before they left. So they made a little bit more money in case it happened.
Yeah, so I mean, the only thing that's stopping this from potentially passing is that the Senate has to push it through. But I mean, uh, things like this seem like pretty bipartisan. Unfortunately, the concept of war and death and destruction, and sending young people into the meat grinder for the sake of the military-industrial complex. I mean, they increased defense spending to, where is it? 895 billion, a $9 billion increase from 2024. So I mean, the amount, the degree to which we were getting ripped off already wasn't enough. But I mean, oh my, dude, there's
And
so many
the
things on
degree
this
that
that
we're broke already, so it's unbelievable. They throw billions around like it's nothing.
But the worst part is that the things that we're paying this amount of money for don't even cost this much. Like, if you really look at there's reports everywhere that say how the defense contractors price gouge the living shit out of America, out of Congress, out of the Department of Defense. Like, they'll do things like charge $10,000 for a hammer that costs $30, charge $2 million for a missile that costs $300,000, and then meanwhile, the stuff that we're sending to Ukraine, according to Eric Prince, somebody who I deeply trust with stuff like this, he's saying
Yep.
the stuff that we're using isn't even functional in a lot of these situations because it's been such a long time since we've actually used this stuff in an active battle. So, we're getting price gouged by like 5x from what the things cost. Then they're not even functional. And you have dudes in Ukraine that are building drones in their garage that are more impactful than the things that we're doing.
Can we read into it a little bit to see who pushed this bill? I don't know.
I mean, it seems like it was pretty bipartisan. What, you want me to read this article? Let's read the
The main
article.
point
Okay.
is,
The House of Representatives passed a measure on Friday automatically registering men aged 18 through 26 for selective service. It was part of the annual National Defense Authorization Act, which sets out the U.S. government military and national security priorities over the next fiscal year. The NDAA authorizes $895 billion in military spending, a $9 billion increase from fiscal year 2024. While it hasn't been invoked in over half a century, it's mandatory for all U.S. citizens to register for the selective services, also known as the military draft, when they turn 18. Failure to register is classified as a felony and comes with a host of legal challenges. But if you want to rob a store for less than $1,000, you're fine.
you're
Supporters of the amendment argue that it would cut down on bureaucratic red tape and help U.S. citizens avoid unnecessary legal issues, as well as cutting down on the taxpayer dollars going towards prosecuting those cases. Oh my God. It was led by, here we go, Republican. Oh wait, by Rep. Chrissy Houlihan, Democrat, Pennsylvania, and
See, I
passed.
told you.
Yep, I never heard of that lady before. Oh, here she
Yep.
is. Wow, does that that looks like you see this? Is this on the screen right now? This lady.
No, it's not.
What are you seeing? Oh, that's interesting. Why is it not showing mirroring what I'm showing?
Maybe pull it down and pull it back again so the people.
Yeah, this whole time I'm cruising along, thinking that you're seeing the same thing as me. All right, let me totally remove it. Stop sharing. Let's pull it back up because I want you to see what this lady looks like.
I'm gonna say hi to people in the chat right now. 7 Logic, War is Coming.
It sure is.
Manitoba, Winnipeg, TRC 23. First
My
Nation
man.
is in the house. First Nation never fails. First Nation is always in the house.
Hell yeah.
What up,
My boy.
Paradox? What's up, Scott? What's up, Marlon?
Okay, here we go.
There
All right, so this lady is the one who's initiated forcing men who are 18 to 26 to register for the draft. She looks like a grandmother. She doesn't look like the face of death and destruction, but do not judge the book by its cover. By using what's up?
You think she has ever seen a gun in her life?
Oh, well, she's a Democrat, so probably not.
Wow.
So it was led by her and passed in the House of Armed Services Committee version of the NDAA in May. The NDAA advanced through the committee in an overwhelming 57 to 1 vote. So, you know, whoever says Congress can't agree on anything, they could agree on death and destruction, sending young people into the meat grinder of a useless war that's going to make them rich. So,
Brandon,
don't say they can't agree on things.
Listen to me. I can bet one of those milkshakes we had the other day that they only vote no. Guess who? I mean, just guess who it was.
Who?
Oh, you know our boy.
Oh yeah, it probably was. Wow, we should look that up. You want to look that up quick?
Let me look it up.
Let's see if you can send me a link. By using available federal databases, the Selective Service Agency will be able to register all the individuals required and thus help ensure that any future military draft is fair and equitable. Oh, okay. So don't worry, guys. The military draft's going to be fair and equitable. So what are we stressing about? Houlihan said during the debate last month, according to Defense News, this will also allow us to what's this word? Rededicate?
What
the hell is that? Rededicate?
It means to move resources back.
Okay, nice. This move will allow us to rededicate resources. Basically, that means money towards reading, readiness, and towards mobilization rather than towards education, advertising campaigns driven to register people.
Wait, does it say the bill number there?
Does it say what?
Does it have the bill number?
No. Maybe down more.
Let me see.
But here's the big selling point they're trying to go with. The NDAA is also include the largest ever pay in military raise history, with a 19.5% increase for junior enlisted troops at 4.5% increase for others. Oh, well, that's good. The people that are making nearly below minimum wage get a 20% increase in return for going straight into war head first. It is now included funding for new Virginia-class submarines and the establishment drone force within the U.S. Army, among other provisions. And what's this? The NDAA passed the House in a 217 to 199 vote, and it's unlikely to be taken up by the Senate. So that's good. But look at this. This is from Fox. Unsurprisingly, the legislation coming out of the House today is loaded with anti-LGBT, anti-choice, and anti-environment. Oh, okay. Never mind. I misread where that was going. And other divisive arguments guaranteed not pass in the Senate, Schumer said. Okay, so look at the logic there. So it's not going to not pass the Senate because it's going to potentially kill tens of thousands of young Americans, but because it's not woke enough, that's why it won't pass. So that's where our priorities are.
I'm glad. I don't know. I'm a weird glad.
Who would have thought that the woke stuff would save us from getting thrown into a war?
I swear to God, they're eating themselves.
Yeah. All right. So part 2 of what's really pissing me off about this is it came out, what was it? Just today, actually, that from Zero Hedge, turns out Putin was ready to end the war in
Again.
2022. Where are we? Here we go. Look at this. All right, is it showing? Is it showing? Yep, it's showing. All right, so from Zero Hedge, New York Times documents show Putin was willing to compromise to end the war in 2022. So in April 2022, Ukraine and Russia on the brink of signing a deal to end the war just weeks after it began. The New York Times published documents showing President Putin was willing to make concessions to get an agreement signed. According to the documents, Putin initially sought to have Kiev recognize Moscow's 2014 annexation of Crimea. However, a draft agreement from April 15th, 2022 suggests both parties were prepared to set aside the issue and end the conflict. Blah, blah, blah. Paragraph 1, yada, yada. But what do you think happened? In December, Ukrainian negotiator, yada, yada, whatever that name is, explained that an agreement was reached. Okay, so where's the part where it falls apart? Kiev was willing to accept neutrality with regards to NATO. According to the New York Times, Ukraine's negotiation team proposed a peace deal that would say the country does not join military alliances and does not deploy foreign military bases in continents. Okay. Some officials cautioned Ukraine not to trust Russia. Here we go. And warned that the talks are merely a ploy. However, out of those 3 Ukraine negotiators who spoke with the New York Times believed Russian proposal was genuine. And one explained Putin had reduced his demands over the course of the discussions. Ultimately, decision makers in Kiev listened to supporters in Warsaw, London, and Washington to elect to break off the negotiations. Great. I mean, anybody who's skeptical of this narrative, just look at the series of events that led to this. I mean, what we overthrew the president of Ukraine in 2014, who was not on our side of things of escalating conflict.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you see the Tucker Carlson interview with what the hell is that guy's name? Jeff Sachs.
Yes, I did see it.
Yeah, so I mean, he gives like the full rundown of how we've basically done everything in our power to escalate this thing since the Cold War ended.
They even threw Boris Johnson at it. They literally sent an ex-prime minister of the UK for them to not sign the treaty. It's absolutely embarrassing. These people love war. They just love war.
I mean, the fact that this is freaking modern day slavery. The fact that they're now creating laws where it's a felony if young people have nothing to do with this, don't want to be a part of it, and they're going full steam ahead, doing everything in their power to make this thing a reality and not have peace.
So what are the prospects? The war is gonna either break out with full-scale Russia, Ukraine, American troops. The second thing that I see coming is a whole, Pacific theater of this war. The Taiwan thing keeps on escalating. The Korea thing keeps on escalating. What else do we have, Brandon?
I saw another article today that came out that said Israel's increasingly likely to engage with Hezbollah and like increase the conflict or whatever, or escalate the conflict. So that's great. We know how that goes. And then here we go. This is what I was looking for to show. So this came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it says NATO is planning to somehow get 300,000 U.S. troops ready for rapid deployment. You ready for this shit?
All right.
Look at this. All right, is it on the screen? There we go. Get the ads out of the way. Revealed, NATO plan to get U.S. troops to the front line to fight Russia. Alliance prepares for rapid deployment of American soldiers amid fears Moscow is plotting a major war with Europe. NATO is drawing up plans to send American troops to the front lines of Europe in the event of an all-out conflict with Russia, it has been revealed. This is from the Daily Mail. So new land corridors are being carved out to quickly funnel soldiers through the Central Europe without local bureaucratic impediments, allowing NATO forces to pounce in an instant should Putin's devastating war in Ukraine move further west. Plans are said to include contingencies in case the Russian bombardment letting troops sweep into the Balkans via corridors in Italy, Greece, Turkey towards Russia, northern border, Scandinavia officials told the Telegraph. So here's, I guess, a visualization of what they have in mind. But I mean, my God, like, I like this is nobody's talking about this. I haven't heard a like I saw this come out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
nobody made a big deal about it except General
we made a
McGregor.
big deal about it, Brandon. We made a big deal about it. We already commented on this,
and we sounded like crazy people. We sounded like we were overreacting.
Nobody's listening. That's what's happening.
Well, I mean, you made an interesting point today. You said that this could be potentially the best thing that ever happened to Gen Z because it's possibly the softest generation in modern history.
In all history.
So let's see. Do we have any Gen Z people in the chat? Hit hop in there if you're Gen Z and you think that your generation would potentially benefit from being deployed into Russia to fight the not the Soviets, to fight Putin's forces.
The Soviets. Someone's stuck in the Cold War, Brandon.
I know, right? Let's see.
But I mean, this is so eerily similar to like previous conflicts that it doesn't really matter. Call them Russians, call them Soviets.
Well, yeah, just like the series of events. I mean, I think it's a little bit more obvious now than say something like Vietnam or the war in Iraq because, you know, it was a lot easier to pull false flags and, you know, use the media propaganda to push a narrative and get us all, you know, emotionally hopped up on something. But I don't think it's quite as easy to do that now.
You'd be surprised, Brandon. You saw what they pulled like 2 years ago with the whole
I know, yeah,
flu thing.
But like we were saying today, though, I mean, I think it's much easier to convince somebody to do what we're encouraged to do there than it is to have them go across the world to an area where there's explosions going off. I mean, I wonder at that point, would the people who are just, you know, mainstream eating up the establishment's talking points no matter what, like at that point, are they fed up with it? Because I've been wondering, like, what's the line? You know, like we've seen so much crazy stuff over the past years. And then there's still these people out there who will defend it and say, no, hate Trump's still the worst option, blah, blah, blah. Like, is there still going to be people in the world that have hated Trump that are having now their 24-year-old kids being sent off to some stupid war in Russia that's not necessary? Are those people still going to be, you know, hating on Trump and defending the establishment?
Well, that's the thing. When you told me about the bill, I was like, that's BS. Because nobody reads who sponsors the bill. No, it's true. Nobody reads anything.
Yeah, apparently Grandma Death did.
Very little people know how government works. And even less people know how Congress works. So
and that's why Plato says if you don't pay attention to the affairs of your government, you're going to be ruled by fools and then sent off to war to die.
So let's stay on this.
Okay.
What's the headline?
Draft incoming 18 to 26.
All right, draft incoming.
Yep.
Who? Not now, but it's the unit party. But who pushed the whole narrative last time around?
The narrative of the last crisis that we had
in Afghanistan.
Oh, that I would say Dick Cheney, but the military industrial complex was behind it. Or are you going even deeper than that?
Mostly Republicans.
Right.
So I think this will drive voters to Biden because even though they push the bill, they're gonna use this against Trump somehow.
I mean, my God, how dumb could you be though? Like we're in this freaking situation because of the guy.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like the first one that grabs the narrative, because this is gonna swing voters. Like if you're
this is like, is there anything scarier out there than the notion of all young people being forced to go to war?
I don't think there's anything scarier, especially when they want to play Fortnite and drink frappuccinos or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, it throws off the course of everybody's life because, like, no matter what you have going on, you're suddenly like thrust into this whole different situation that you never even factored into your life. Like you're gonna have 24-year-old kids who are graduating from accounting school that are Democrats, like, gung ho about the cause, and then getting scooped up and threatened to, if they don't go to war, they're gonna be put in jail.
Well, if I was Trump right now, I will.
Yeah, he should be loud and like yelling about this off a mountaintop.
He should be loud and clear. He was like, if I wasn't, if I was president right now, this wouldn't be happening. And when I jump in, this is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
I mean, like, it just shows the influence that the military industrial complex has. Like, the fact that, like, why aren't people flipping out about this? Not only, like, it's not even on social media. There's only a few articles about it. They're not talking about it on Fox or CNN, obviously. But it's crazy that even independent people aren't really talking about it.
Well, because they're busy with the Trump trial. Because by design, that was the purpose of the Trump trial. So let's recap this for people that are just joining in.
Mm-hmm.
They decided to open corridors to move 300,000 troops.
Right.
Allegedly, they already moved 90,000 troops. Last week, here in southern Florida, we had literal Russian nuclear submarines.
I think it's still there. Like, I didn't hear anything about it leaving. I think it's just like posted up there.
Like,
which again, it's freaking crazy.
If things keep on going this way and it's this bad, they're making Canada look good.
Oof. Why?
Because people are gonna dodge the draft there. That's what that's how people colonize Canada. During the Vietnam War, they were all draft dodgers and they moved there. That's what it is. I don't make the rules.
I know, but Canada today is not the Canada of old. I mean, it's like, it's much more like, they're still pansies, but they're authoritarian pansies.
Is that a better kind of pansy?
I mean, I think that's the scariest pansy of them all. They say weak leaders are the most dangerous leaders.
But I don't know. Someone needs to step in and figure this out.
Do you think we could talk about the other thing that you sent me without getting in trouble?
The other thing that I sent you without getting in trouble?
The Marxism thing?
I will keep that for X, Brandon.
And
I think we need to do some more research on that.
Can we tease it?
People are changing history and they're changing the internet right in front of our eyes.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was intended to be a quick one, so let's read through some chats quick before we hop off. So let's see. Trevor Finley: soldiers are made up of bets, male, weak-minded propaganda flower are who allow militaries to exist and ruin the world. Got it. Exclusive MLB: the average age of Ukrainian military is 45. They're running out of men and now recruiting women. Yep, they are. I mean, their fighting age male population might literally be gone. So I've seen everything from middle-aged men to women to people who are disabled being dragged in and put in the front lines. I mean, there's a reason that they have satellite imagery of what is it? Enough graves to bury 2 million people in Ukraine. That thing has stuck in my head ever since I came across that. Do you remember talking about that?
Yeah, that is crazy.
What else we got? Positively leads to success. Good luck getting them to do it. At this point, people aren't scared of jail, especially youth that's been indoctrinated by Democrats. They really don't care and are not patriotic at all. That's a good question. I mean, can we do a poll in this chat?
We need to do it straight from YouTube, so you need to click on.
Because I'm interested would I get in trouble if I put that poll up? Like, would you go to the war or go to jail?
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. You want to do it or you want me to do it?
I'm on it, Brandon.
Hey, my man. All right, I'll keep reading comments. Trevor Finley: wars aren't won by infantry anyway. Ed: I feel like my little nephew, Gen Z, got handed a shit pie. They sure did. I mean, Gen Z and millennials, I always say they've gotten shafted to the highest extent. I mean, think about it. So if you were like our age right now in your 20s, in the 70s, like right after we got off the gold standard, if you just owned a house, owned some of the S&P, you're chilling. You maintained your wealth while inflation increased. I mean, it took 2 years of an average salary to buy an average priced house in the 70s. Today it takes like 8 years of an average salary to buy an average priced house. So and then college was like 1 year of salary in the 70s. You know, it's with interest like 3 or 4 years of an average salary today. And for like that's just the 70s. If you were growing up in the 50s, that's when we were by far the richest country in the world. And you know that, oh my god, such an advantage compared to where we are now. I mean, it's doesn't do us any good to sulk and complain about it, but yeah, we definitely were handed a kind of shitty by comparison situation. But we have to remember that we're still like, even if you're the poorest person in America, you're still in like the top 10% of global wealth. So I mean, you know, everybody has their disadvantage in some regard, but can't just go around feeling sorry for yourself. What about the fat problem, says Manuel Reyes? There wouldn't be fat problems if this pops off.
True. Everyone loses weight.
I mean, now that we're talking about, there might be some benefits to this.
Like, you know, if there wasn't a war looming, I think this could do good for the population.
Yeah, I mean because I mean, if it's like a real war, like a war that's actually for a reasonable reason, that's not just orchestrated by the military industrial complex, and yeah, it's like, you know, inspires patriotism, brings people together. But I mean, I think any reasonable person could see what's going on here. We spent 30 years kind of orchestrating this thing, doing everything possible to escalate it. And now, like, what we not only are we not the ones who've gotten rich from it, but we're the ones that have to sacrifice our lives for it.
Okay. Because, you know, enlistment numbers, they've been like below, not even like they've been on the floor lately.
Yeah, because they've gotten soft.
The has something to do with it.
What, the draft?
Yeah,
I'm sure it does. And the reason that enlistment numbers or recruiting numbers are down is because of all the, you know, weak stuff they've been doing. I mean, if like the traditional person who wants to go to the army is like a hardcore dude who's ready to, you know, go through hell and, you know, like bond over that with your bros that you're going basic training with, and, you know, get pushed to the limit. I mean, they replayed I remember we did an episode on this with Pat, and they replaced something that was famously called the hell was it, like shark something, what was it, you know what I'm talking about, like Shark Tank or something like that.
Yeah, Shark Tank. The show?
No, it's not the show. It's like a part of basic training where like the shark attacks. Like it was called shark attacks because like you get off the bus and like all the dudes like swarm around you, start like harassing you and, you know, yelling at you and stuff. But
like hazing?
Yeah, exactly. But they replaced that with something called the Thunder Run.
The Thunder Run.
The Thunder. You go from shark attacks to Thunder Run.
All right. The next time they're gonna replace for the glitter bombing.
Yeah. So I mean, that in a nutshell is what's happening. I mean, you know, like traditional hardcore dudes not vibing with that stuff. And I mean, what's his name? Eric why is his name? Eric Prince talks about this all the time, how like during peacetime, you don't have good leaders. And I mean, like the people who are good leaders during wartime, like our boy Patton, never popular during peacetime, because the only reason they're leaders during wartime is because you absolutely need them, because they have the balls to do what it takes to do to get yourself like on the winning side of a situation. It's not always pretty. It's not always politically correct, but you got to do what you got to do in wartime. But there's no patience or tolerance for that during peacetime. And you just have a bunch of bureaucrat pencil pushers who are playing it safe, politically correct, like General Milley, who was an absolute sellout to America, disgusting. But you somehow have more, I think, was it generals or bureaucrats today than you did during World War II. So it's like just like layers and layers and layers of political red tape, just like making this thing unbearable for people who are just trying to serve their country.
It's a very top heavy structure now. I think he also brought up the number. There was like, I don't know, like for every troop there was like a general. Like, I mean, for every 10 guys, there was one general there. There was like
Right.
160 generals in Iraq at the moment. You can't rule. I mean, you can't lead a war like that. And then
No.
the other thing is, I don't know how or why these people lose their sense of urgency when we're like during peacetime. Like for example, well, if you want to consider it a war, if you look at it, El Salvador, and you look at what Nayib Bukele's doing there, um is very similar, you know.
Oh yeah.
um Shit hits the fan, and then you see the true leaders that are willing to do something. But
No,
I find this,
100%.
I find absolutely disgusting, like such a waste of money, time, press. um I don't know.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. Like imagine what we could be doing with that, and just like think of I always think during times of World War II, like all the lives and talent and resources that were wasted. You know, what was it like 20, 30 million people during the first one, and then like 50 million people during the second one,
Yep.
and that kills an entire generation. I mean, it's always honestly been crazy to me how Germany was able to bounce back so fast. Like what was it? Just like they literally just grabbed the next generation after they got torn through World War One. Like how the hell did they like even have people left after that?
I mean, they got that's why you call the baby boomers. They went back to make babies. I'm not even joking.
No, but I'm talking about in Germany itself. So like, say
Well,
you're Germany, you're in World War One, you get shredded, you could lose over 10 million people, right? And it's all people fighting age men like 18 through 26, like some of your best fighters. And then you wait, what was it, about 20 years on the dot until you just build it back up and go at it again.
I think we can do a whole episode on this, but
Oh,
Germany
definitely.
went from America's biggest enemy
Right.
to one of the biggest trading partners. um they managed to develop industries and do things. And then the Germans are so industrious. They're some of the hardest working people. Same thing happened to Japan, that it literally got nuked and it went to become one of the biggest economies on the planet.
Well, we helped him out with the Marshall Plan, though. Like, I mean, we kind of did the opposite with Germany, where like the whole Treaty of Versailles did the opposite of what the Marshall Plan did. So, I mean, like you could argue the Treaty of Versailles and like making Germany repay all that like war reparation stuff was potentially what led to World War II, because they were like, you had the Weimar Republic where they had insane hyperinflation for 20 years after the war, and then that's what Hitler was able to get people emotionally pissed off and engaged with, like saying that, oh yeah, they're taking advantage of us, they're humiliating us, like yada yada yada. We have to do this, this, and that to get out of the situation. But in Japan, we Marshall planned the shit out of them and gave them the means they needed to have like an industrial boom. And yeah, they rebuilt their entire economy with Marshall Plan money, and they were a powerhouse for a little bit until they stopped having sex.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, this Germany's still paying reparations from World War II.
Um, that's entirely or World War II, World War One.
World War II.
I know even Britain is paying like the U.S. debt that it owes it from World War II. So that's how America is the primary reason America is so powerful is because of World War One, World War II, because they literally, the other countries in Europe would borrow money from America to buy things from America to fight the war with. So it was like double money.
Um, Absolutely insane. It's well, and they're going back on it. Like I read an article, a piece last week, that Germany's ramping up their army again.
Yeah, dude, what's up with that? I mean, you're our German correspondent. What's your take on that?
Sorry.
I said you're our German correspondent. What's your take on that? While I pull up an
Um,
article.
well, they just realized that they don't have enough ammunition for more than 2 days. If Russia like actually decides to take over Europe, they're done.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, like, and that's the case for everybody in Europe. So there's this great paper that I found one time from I don't know, it was like a think tank or something in England. I think it was called like Rusi, not a Russian think tank. It just sounds like it. It's an English think tank called Rusi, and they did a whole breakdown on what the English countries were like before and after the Cold War. So they're all depleted down to freaking nothing from a military standpoint. They've all just relied on America, knowing that America would have more than enough if they ever needed it. But now their cupboard is entirely barren in a time where they are going to potentially need it.
Well, Trump last time around brought it up that they're not even paying their fair share. Like, in order to be part of NATO, you need to have a certain amount of spending that I think is set at 2% of your
3%.
3%, 2%.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, so he made it very clear that if shit hits a fan, he wasn't gonna pay for war again.
Dude, he was right about so many things. I mean, the fact that he was the first one to call out how Germany was getting 70% of their energy from Russia when they were, acting like Russia was their biggest fear and they needed us to protect them from Russia, but they're completely captive to them. Like it's amazing that nobody spoke about that until this business guy just comes in, shakes things up, and like he's pointing out logical things. And then that remember that interview when he was talking to Stoltenberg and NATO, and this got like 7 million views on YouTube because it was one of the things that he did where there was never a dynamic like that before, where he just like invited the press on it and then called out diplomats.
Well, the thing is that if you come in from the private sector into government, and you apply any amount of common sense,
it's a different language.
Yeah, any amount of like simple math. You just go in there and literally do the simplest of the equations. You will come up with great conclusions because these people are like, Brandon, they have unlimited spending. Unlimited.
Yep. And it's not from them. It's just the sweat off our back that they're extracting and paying 3 times the price of something, because who cares? We get more of it. And I love how they're trying to crap all over Trump's proposal to do the tariff thing now. Like they're, CNBC and all the pundits are like, oh my God, that would be economic disaster because when you tariff things, they end up being more expensive because they have to pay more to get them here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know what else is more expensive? Having to 30% of our wealth extracted from us no matter what, and then paying taxes on when you buy something again. So you're getting double and triple taxed on things.
So you pay when you produce, you pay when you buy, you pay because you produce too much. You pay when you die. You pay.
Yeah, the inheritance tax. Oh my God.
Oh, that's just unbelievable.
Like you spend your entire life trying to accumulate generational wealth, and then they just leech off of it.
And then you pay for things you're never gonna see, never, or things you're never gonna use.
Speaking of paying for things, remember that thing I showed you earlier today? Shit, should I play that? It's kind of crazy with Gary Gensler. Is that too off topic with what he said today?
I mean, Brandon, it's your stream. People are here watching you. I'm gonna say hi to Chet. By the way, Paul.
Give some shout outs while
Yeah, let's get some shout outs. MK Ultra, what's up?
My man.
What's up, Will?
Not forgetting that name.
Sky, Christine Miller, they're all up here in the chat. And the poll results, I don't know if I should close it.
Let's hear it. What are they?
Wait, it's a 99 votes, so I'm gonna close it exactly at 100. So
okay.
If anyone in the chat wants to put the last vote in, it'd be highly appreciated. Well, are you seeing the poll now? So see if you can have a guess.
I don't see it yet. What is it?
All right. What was your best guess?
I'm gonna say 70% say they would go to jail instead of going to the war.
55% will rather go to jail, and
I get it.
44% will rather go to war.
Which camp do you fall in?
I'd rather go to war.
Yeah. See, my thing is like, if it's a World War II situation, like, yeah, obviously I'm gonna go to war. You know, it's a badass war to fight and something to be proud of. But if it's like a Vietnam War where it's a freaking military industrial complex thing that's totally unnecessary, then I think I
Hillary
would.
Clinton's CFO in the
Here we go.
campaign.
Oh
Right?
yeah, this is insane.
It's part of my history. Were you? Yes or no? In 2016. Did you facilitate the payment for the Steele dossier since you were CFO of the Hillary Clinton campaign? Sir. Yes or no? Sir. Yes or no? That was
That's a guilty
that
face
was
right
not.
there.
You're under oath, Chairman Gensler. Yes or
I
no?
know. I was not
That's
something
a
I was
guilty
aware
face.
I yield back the rest of my time. Thank you.
That's
So, I
it.
mean, that's pretty compelling.
I mean, you can't get a straight answer on those guys. It's unbelievable.
No, but I mean, that was a yes. Was that not a yes? Like the fact that he said he's like, no, I didn't know what I was doing. Like,
No, he said it. I didn't know about it, but that is a yes in a court.
yeah, because I mean, that's the current SEC chairman who's in charge of putting people in jail if they insider trade. Gave money to. I mean, how would you describe Christopher Steele? Yes, he's a straight up spy, right? The Steele
could-
dossier.
Yeah, you could argue that. And
What's an alternative argument?
no, it's an alternative argument, but I don't think we're allowed to say it.
Oh, really? What's
Yeah.
the acceptable term for him?
A political operator,
Okay.
a facilitator of
Right, a facilitator. Got it. Yeah. So, no shortage of weirdness and just
But
like a comical
going back
amount
to-
of yeah.
I didn't ask, but going back to the jail war thing,
Mhm.
I'd rather die free ish than being confined in a jail. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, you get out
And-
eventually, right?
And the other thing, you still have Americans there, and even if it's an unfair war, you're there for them. So if you can protect them, help them, it's not their fault either. So I couldn't stand here and see fellow Americans getting the short end of the stick and me sitting in jail and not doing anything about it. I don't know. I couldn't live with that, even if I think the war isn't fair.
Yeah, I just have a hard time imagining how this thing plays out because it's like, there's really never been a time where we held ourselves back from using the most powerful weapons that we have. Like anytime that we've done a world war and there's been big gaps in the fighting in between technology advancing, we've kind of surprised ourselves at how scary the technology that we've come up with in the interim, because, that's really when you let it loose is when you're in a all out situation. So, I mean, I have a hard time visualizing because what is this gonna be the first time where we actually hold back from the full extent of what we could do because we know that we could blow up the entire world?
I don't think anyone's holding back. I think
Of course
nuclear
they're-
weapons are a reality.
I think Russia's holding back right now.
You think they're holding back?
Yeah,
I know. Self-assured destruction is a powerful drug, Brandon.
yeah,
I mean, mutually assured destruction is a powerful drug.
I know. That's the thing. Yeah, this could be like an entire thing on its own because there's the whole weirdness of how Russia suddenly ramped up its capacity to produce tanks faster than we can, and then at the same time we have a shortage of the materials needed to create the special kind of rockets that we need to send over there, because you could obviously create new money out of thin air and send it to these places faster than you could create new weapons at the same pace. So I mean, I guess that was an oversight on their behalf, but I don't know. I think that this is as good of a reason to want Trump to win as any, because if I would bet any amount of money this all goes away if he wins and everything goes smoothly with the inauguration.
I'm reading now the comments on the chat. A couple of veterans are weighing in because neither you or I have never been deployed.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for your service. Mad respect.
this is really scary. They're saying that the new generation of soldiers is not ready for war.
Yeah, that's what my friends are telling me. Like, so I have some really close friends and family that got in around the time of 2016, 2018-ish, and they said they got in like right at the tail end of when there was like a big culture shift. So it went from being, like the grizzled hardcore dudes that, like, I guess like you would expect in the military, to kind of guys who would write you up, or you'd get in trouble. Like, so there's like a turning point where they put in these new rules, I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it started to become like really easy to get officers in trouble, or like have them written up if they haze you or went too hard on you and stuff. So they kind of stopped trying and stopped doing all that stuff. And that's a serious thing, because it's kind of like the same principle as like a teenager being respectfully afraid of their father, kind of punishing them or them having consequences for something. Like, if you don't have the fear of consequences from your superior in the military, then like what the hell good is it? Like, if you could just get them in trouble and ruin their career for like saying that they were too hard on you, then like there's no discipline there. And
the other thing, Brandon,
correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because yes, I'd never served in the military, so I'm just going based off what people that did serve in the military that I know have told me. So would love to hear your thoughts on that.
the thing is that, especially when it comes to males, hazing is incredibly important.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, if you're gonna join a frat, you will get hazing. If you join the military, you have basic training.
I love how right when you said that, at the chat there, the people watching went from like 210 to 190. The algorithm didn't like that you said you liked hazing.
Well, I don't know.
No, but
It's
I
so
agree.
weird.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
It's been with us guys for even if you join a sports team, you're gonna get
Yeah,
hazed.
and it
'Cause
ends up being some of the most important memories of your life.
and they need to see if they can trust you,
Yeah, or if you're gonna give up on them.
or if you're gonna give up on them, which is very important when you're gonna have guys having your back with a rifle. So I don't know. The thing I'm telling you, Brandon, if any politician that goes against this is winning the election. That's what it is.
It's interesting. So I told you I've been reading a ton of books about Patton lately, because I'm really interested in the conspiracy of that Patton was allegedly, potentially, maybe killed because they were afraid of him becoming president. Allegedly looking into that still, but some of the things, because we're gonna do an episode on that at one point. We plan to go 5 nights a week in the future, doing some evergreen timeless content like 2 nights of the week, and that's gonna be one of the things we do. But something I heard about him is that like the famous story about like him slapping the shit out of people who were like afraid to go into battle and stuff, and screaming at them, being ruthless. Like, so he got written up for that, and then like it was a whole thing in the media, and Congress was all like in a tizzy about it, saying like, oh, how could you do that? It's so incompassionate. And he was blown away, because he said to them, he's like, listen, if those are soldiers in Russia or Germany, like they would be put on their knees and shot in the head for being scared to go into battle. Like, are you kidding me? You're mad because I slapped them in the face?
That since Roman times has been like that.
So even in the 40s, 50s, like we were just really soft compared to the rest of the world. Now I don't know where all that's from.
Checking out the chat here, Chris Pavlovsky from Rumble is asking, why aren't you on Rumble?
Oh, is that Chris? So here, funny story. Great that you asked. My Rumble account, like, just it got to, like, I went to log on one time and it said it had been deleted. So I definitely intend to put an account back on Rumble under the same name, and either have that as a backup or simultaneously do both at the same time. But yeah, I would love to go about recovering that, or just making a new one.
Well,
So
talking about Rumble today, our friend Viva Frey was on Fresh and Fit.
oh, very nice. How'd that go?
Uh,
I didn't watch that. Did you watch it?
I did catch a little bit, because
I gotta check that out later.
Viva Frey is one of the greatest guys I ever met. Like,
oh yeah,
not only
incredibly
on
well
camera,
spoken.
Yeah, and outside of camera, he's just a overall certified dude.
Yeah, 100%. He's a day one bro for VT.
Well,
I mean,
we should have him on. We have so many things to do. We need to start
so many people that we got to have on.
We need to have we need to write the patent script.
Yep. But guys, first we have to get this thing to 5 nights a week, and won't go into detail, but the faster that we blow this thing up to, like 1,000 live viewers per night, and really get this thing firing on all cylinders, the faster we could do this every night, which I desperately want to more than anything, is just to pour all my time into research, show prep, the whole line, getting this thing real official, which it will be soon. But the faster we get this thing growing, the faster that'll be a reality. So I mean, do all the things that people say, the whole like and subscribe and share, that helps a lot. Recommend this to people, etc. Just trying to build a like-minded community and spread useful information, which is hard to come by these days. What do you think, bro? Any final thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Final thoughts. Just either fight or go to Canada. Jail is not worth it.
What about Mexico? No, it might even be more dangerous than the war zone,
Yeah,
honestly.
with the new president, that'd be worse.
I'd rather go to Russia than Mexico.
Not even a joke.
Yeah. Well, guys, this was a good one. Again, super impressive, super proud that we could get 200 live at 11 o'clock at night, unannounced, not promoted. So I have no doubt this thing will be at 1,000 live in no time. So thank you to all you for watching. Love you guys. I know you're true patriots. What's up?
Our Wednesday show is the best. So I want to see everyone out there on the official, because this was an extra show.
And bring a friend.
Yeah, bring your friends for Wednesday and Friday.
Yep.
Official shows 8 p.m. Don't miss it. 8 p.m. EST, by the way.
Yep.
So if you're in California, I'm sorry for you, but you need to do it math.
Yeah. Drop everything. 8 o'clock, including us. Like, even if we have some crazy shit going on, we have to start at 8.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's on my phone.
I know.
All right. No. So yeah, Wednesday 8 o'clock. We'll see you then. Love all of you. Thank you for watching. I missed you guys like crazy last week, and it's good to be back. Stay patriotic, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Peace out.